Your recent announcement on building the new NVIDIA Taiwan HQ, also known as the NVIDIA Constellation, has generated a lot of excitement.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, indeed.
We've been here for so long. How come everybody's excited?
I think it's the scale that we are looking at, especially when we bring up AI infrastructure and AI factories, because we are talking about this whole holistic kind of model that we are looking at right now. But I'm just curious, what kind of talent you are looking to recruit from Taiwan and rest of the world?
Like I said, we've been in Taiwan a long time, and we have a lot of great employees here. The last couple of years, the number of partners we have here in Taiwan has grown tremendously. They've grown tremendously in helping us manufacture our technology. Our technology went from chips, GPUs. The Grace Blackwell systems are 2 tons, not a few ounces. It's 2 tons, 1.2 million parts. It's incredible. Each system is $2 to $3 million. Previously, each chip is $100.
Yeah.
So the things that we're building has changed tremendously, and the number of partners here in the Taiwan ecosystem that is necessary to support us, and we're so proud of them, and they've done such a great job for us. Their technology, their craft, their dedication, their flexibility, their customer service orientation, their partnership. I've known them for so long, and now we have 350 partners here working with us in Taiwan. And so we need more employees. The types of employees that NVIDIA hires is always, the best that we can find, and we're fortunate that young engineers and young researchers really enjoy working at NVIDIA. I'm a good boss for engineers. I'm a good boss for researchers, and so I think we're gonna continue to attract, but there's no significant change. It's just that our current office is just too small now.
Okay, so now if Taiwan is a proving ground, I would imagine the NVLink Fusion, which you unveiled at Computex, is actually one of the toolkits that will be used. So how does NVLink Fusion platform reflect on your strategy to actually foster a stronger and more open AI ecosystem?
Yeah, really great. Currently, the way that you buy NVIDIA is of course, we design, we architect, we design the entire AI factory, from the GPU to the CPU, to the switches, to the networking chips, and there are 3 types of networking chips and 3 types of switches, and all of that is integrated into an AI factory. Lots of software, lots of systems work, and we do that in collaboration with all of our partners. Once we design everything integrated so that we can optimize it, then we tear it apart and sell it to you in parts. And this way, we can sell it to AWS, and they're really proud of the work that we do together. We could sell it to Azure, and Microsoft Satya just announced yesterday that they were the first CSP, first hyperscaler, to have GB200 and 4,000 GB200 systems put up and running now, and OpenAI is already using GB200s, and of course Google uses NVIDIA's GB200, and they're so proud. And Sundar was really gracious to complement the work that we do together. And Gemini Pro are running on TPUs as well as NVIDIA's architecture, and so we can work with any cloud service provider because we can break apart this holistic AI system. But we want to do even more than that because some companies want to build their own CPU, and some companies want to build their own networking, and some companies want to build their own ASIC accelerator. And so today, you really can buy NVIDIA systems when it's part of this AI factory, the NVIDIA architecture. With NVLink Fusion, we could extend our ecosystem so that even when they design some of their own chips, we can have our ecosystem integrated into them. And so together, we're really fusing the NVIDIA ecosystem and the partners ecosystem. The perfect example is actually Fujitsu. You know, Fujitsu is a 100-year-old computing company. They've been here as long as IBM. And they are the computer ecosystem, the computing platform of Japan. And the Fujitsu ecosystem and their computing platform starts with their own CPU. But they would like to add AI to it. And in order to do that, they want to choose the world's best AI ecosystem. And so because of NVLink Fusion, Fujitsu CPU can connect with NVIDIA's GPU and fuse together over NVLink Fusion. And as a result, our two ecosystems can combine. And we can bring AI to Japan. So it's an excellent strategy.
That brings up more flexibility in the equation, I would imagine.
We make it possible for every company to be able to buy something from NVIDIA. We are a simple, practical, company. We would love that you buy everything from us. But we are so pleased if you buy anything from us.
Okay, I wanted to move on to a more serious question when we talk about the ongoing shift of semiconductor manufacturing back to the US soil due to tariffs. So that has created a bit of rather uneasiness within the Taiwanese ecosystem. So just wondering whether you have any word of advice or encouragement for your Taiwanese ecosystem partners, and how will you deepen the relationship going forward?
It's important to take a step back and look at what is President Trump's larger vision. And the larger vision is founded on very important changes in the world. It is true that semiconductors and AI is going to become much, much more integrated into the world's infrastructure. And so it's important that the supply chain is more diversified and more resilient. There's redundancy and there's diversification so that the supply chain could be resilient. And very importantly, it's important that the critical infrastructure in the United States could be reindustrialized so that some manufacturing could be done in the United States for the United States, its own resilience and national security. And so I think that the vision is spot on. And I would say that it also happened at exactly the right time. And the reason for that is very clear, that because of NVIDIA's AI initiative and all the AI infrastructure that we're building, the whole electronics ecosystem is growing very fast. And at a time when we're growing, we're building many, many plants. And so NVIDIA's industrialization or manufacturing in the United States allowed us to bring our partners to the United States so that they could expand their footprint. So now TSMC can expand their footprint in the United States. Foxconn, Wistron, Amkor, SPIL. We're bringing our partners and expanding their opportunity in the United States. Meanwhile, the consumption here in Taiwan is still so high and it's continuing to grow. And so the timing is right. The timing is just right. We're going to have plenty of growth.
So you expect to see growth on both sides in that sense?
Yeah, I expect to see growth, very, very high growth on both sides.
One thing is that you mentioned previously that NVIDIA is going to build up to $500 billion of AI infrastructure on US soil. Just wondering whether you can further elaborate on how this could be done.
Well, $500 billion, if you look at NVIDIA today, it would not be surprising if we're already a couple of $100 billion company. And over 4 years, $500 billion is not unlikely. The world is going to build over the next 10 years many $1 trillion worth of AI factories. The build out has only just begun. And you can test it. It's very easy to, in fact, test this assumption. If you look at any data center today, it's very traditional. You walk into every data center, it's very traditional. And yet, and anywhere, here in Taiwan, anywhere in the world, you just walk into a random data center and you see it's very traditional. General purpose computers, CPUs, the old way. And we know that the new way is going to be AI. And so the world has 60 years of computing infrastructure that has been built that is now reset. So we have 60 years to rebuild, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years. So over the next 10 years, the amount of AI infrastructure we have to build is extraordinary. utterly shocking. But on top of that, we're going to build AI factories. And so the combination of the reset of the way computing is done and also building these new AI factories, we're going to see fairly significant growth opportunities, for these factories over the years.
The United States aimed to build an all-American-made supercomputer in the US. And beyond hardware, it also required talents, I would believe. So do you think that the US will be able to continue to attract and retain top talents and people needed to do this job well?
Well, first of all, the United States is the land of extraordinary talent.
Yeah.
And I was born in Taiwan. My father had a vision that we would build our lives in the United States. And the opportunities that I was able to receive and all of my colleagues that I'm surrounded by and the vibrant entrepreneurial innovation, pioneering spirit of Americans cannot be ever underestimated. And I think America remains an extraordinary place. And I have the opportunity to travel the world. The talent in the United States is unparalleled. The ambition is unparalleled. And so when President Trump decided to to reindustrialize America, that vision I think is an excellent vision and at the perfect time. And I think the challenge is real. The fact of the matter is, the United States had stopped manufacturing for quite some time. And so that is a real challenge. It is the case that we need more energy. And so for many years, at least the last 4 years, the previous administration has been quite concerned about adding more energy into the country. Yeah. And yet, in order to support a new industry, we need energy. And so it's at exactly the wrong time. And so finally, President Trump's pro-energy increase of all forms, everything from sustainable energy to nuclear to hydrogen to fossil fuel, every single form of energy is going to be necessary to enable this new industry to grow. And so his pro-energy attitude and his pro-energy policies and his pro-energy encouragement for the country is really important. And so I think the timing is perfect. But like you say, the skills have, for some decades, left the country. And but the United States will have to move fast. And everything from construction to craft, the skilled labor, electricians, plumbers, mechanicals, carpenters, the whole thing. We're going to need a lot of skilled labor in the United States. Probably, if I were to guess, several 100,000 in the near future to support all the AI factories we have to build. And so that's a great opportunity.
I want to continue this conversation on, because you have been traveling a lot recently, engaging various governments, especially on when we talk about infrastructure development. So I'm going to move on to China right now. So given the current additional export controls, how would NVIDIA navigate its relationship with the Chinese AI market and your partners there?
Well, this is one area that I would really love for the President and the administration to reconsider. Export control, if you examine the results of the export control, I think it is clear that it was not effective. At the time, 4 years ago, at the beginning of the last administration, NVIDIA's market share in China was 95%. Our market share is now 50%. The hope or the goal of the administration was to slow the progress of AI in China. But there's no evidence of that. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. China has 50% of the world's AI researchers. The single largest population of researchers in the world. And they will advance AI. And there's no question that DeepSeek is a real contribution to the world. It's a gift to the world. I don't know any AI researcher that didn't read it. And the innovation that's inside DeepSeek is extraordinary. It's not just copying technology. This is unique and genuinely good innovation. QN models from Alibaba is excellent. And so there's no question that AI research in China will progress. If we're not there, somebody else will fill the spot. And there's every evidence that because of export control, we've lost half of our market share. And so I think the spirit of the export control policy has proven not to have been effective. The goals are not achieved. And now, at least President Trump realized that China is now here. And they have the ability to scale. It's not logical to hold back, and the ability to hold back a country like China. This is a country with great aspirations, incredible talent, incredible might, and incredible will. And so now the time is here, and AI is ready to diffuse, to proliferate to all countries, and every country would like to have AI. And so the president is wise in recognizing that the AI diffusion policy that was written at the end of the last administration is almost precisely wrong. Instead of limiting American AI diffusion, it should be maximizing AI diffusion. And the export control, we should recognize that China has the world's largest population of AI researchers. And we want Chinese AI researchers, every AI researcher on the planet, to develop on American technology. Because if not, what gets diffused around the world is not going to be American technology. And so I think it's sensible that AI diffusion, the reversal of the AI diffusion policy, would go hand in hand with the reversal of export control. It is not so at the moment, but I hope that it would change.
Are there new tailored solutions for NVIDIA for the China market, and how do you ensure continued partnership and growth there?
Well, the export control is not a sanction. It's just an export control. The export control specifies limits. Yeah. President Trump has been very clear that he would like NVIDIA to sell as many chips as possible around the world. But it obviously has to comply with policies. And so in the case of H20, we don't know of any more ideas to make H20 suitable for or versions of it suitable for the Chinese market. And so at this point, we've decided to write off multiple $1 billion of chip inventory. Now, to put in perspective, most semiconductor companies is only a few $1 billion. We're going to write off the equivalent of entire semiconductor companies in just one quarter. And so it's very painful. We've lost a lot of money. And the revenue opportunity that it was going after is going to cost the United States a lot of taxes and cost NVIDIA a lot of revenues. But it is what it is. And so currently what we're trying to do, there's very limited options now. H20 was our last idea. And so I have to go back to the drawing board and think of new ideas. I don't have anything obvious at the moment, but we're committed to the China market. We've been there for 30 years. China has treated NVIDIA incredibly well, and it's been a wonderful market for us. We have many partners there. They depend on us, and it has been a great joy and a great honor to have served that market. And there will never be another China market. The idea that the China market could be replaced by growth somewhere else is not really logical. You know, that market is vibrant and it's very dynamic, and walking away from that market would be a real shame.
Are you still optimistic about healthy competition?
Healthy competition? All the competition I've enjoyed so far is healthy. It's you know, China competes, if that's what you're talking about. There are startups. There are 50 startups. Huawei is one of the most formidable technology companies in the world. They just had a record year.
Yeah.
And the technology that they're putting out and this new cloud matrix AI supercomputer is, on paper, better than NVIDIA's. Higher performance than NVIDIA state-of-the-art. And so this is a formidable company that we have to really take with great respect and put forth our best effort. It's also important to realize that, and this is very important to AI diffusion, the next generation of telecommunication standards, the technology today is called 5G, but the next generation, 6G, is going to be built on AI.
Yeah.
And so the infrastructure that is diffused around the world and the country that diffuses that technology will have a leadership position in the next generation of telecommunications. This is very, very important to keep an eye on. And of course, Huawei has been very clear that their intention is to fuse 5G and 5G and AI. And so it's very visionary. It's exactly the right thing to do. And we're doing the same thing. But we have to race fast.